What is up? Welcome to Comics and Crosses. I am Mason, and today I got something I'm really excited about. This is our first real official video for Comics and Crosses, and today I am reviewing a title that I have been anticipating. I know a lot of people have, and it is We Only Find Them When They're Dead. And I literally just read this. My bag board is not sealed yet. This is a sweet book. It has lived up to the expectation, I would say, after an initial read. This one is by Al Ewing and Simone DeMeo, providing some artwork there. So it is from BOOM Studios, and this is a first issue. This is a new title that's finally come out, and I am a fan of Al Ewing. The Immortal Hulk content is something that I want to get into and write some reviews of, talk about that and some of the themes in that title. This one explores, basically features a crew aboard a spaceship that is mining, or not mining, but is harvesting meat from dead gods that they find in space. So fascinating. It definitely, I was drawn to it in terms of the whole idea of comics and crosses and discussing biblical and eternal themes behind some of our modern mythology that we find in comic books. So first of all, the things I liked about it. So love the artwork. It really works in this title. The design of it, the colors, very vivid, makes you think of space. I've seen other books where I didn't really like this kind of artwork because I felt like it didn't feel as sketch to me because it was so vivid and that sort of thing. But this really complements the story nice. The other thing I like about it is it jumps right into the story. Kind of like the Immortal Hulk. Al Ewing, I think, does this great. Gets right into action happening, so we're brought into a world pretty quickly. Something that's already established, as if the story's been going on before we got there. I really like that. I love the pacing of this book. I love the moment in time that it gave us a glimpse of, and it's interesting and exciting enough to make you say, I want to read more about that. Also, without ruining it, this story, this issue leaves you at a great place. It's a great kind of cutoff that makes you go, oh man, I want to see what happens next. So that's always fun. I've been disappointed with a title or two recently where I felt like the writer wasn't very conscious of the cutoff of each issue. So that could be in just that particular title. Things I didn't like about it? Not much. I mean, I enjoyed it. This was a fun experience. I definitely recommend reading it. And then as far as biblical or faith-based themes or eternal ideas that you see behind this, We Only Find Them When They're Dead has some really cool concepts and ideas that put interesting imagery and evoke interesting emotions in the reader, especially if you're a Christian reader, I would say. So, first of all, we only find them when they're dead. Maybe I should come up with what's the acronym for that? Waftwet. Can we do that? Waftwet. So, first idea I want to talk about in Waftwet is a polytheistic idea. You see this a lot in comics. The idea that there are many gods. And so this obviously is in contradictory with the Christian idea that there is one God, one supreme being. So, and in Christian teaching, Scripture would say, like in Romans, that in describing humanity, that basically the condition that man exists in is that man has exchanged the glory of the incorruptible God to worship creation over the Creator. So, why this is important is because in Christian teaching, there is one God who is all-powerful. But in Christian teaching, it also describes the state of humanity is that we have a tendency to take a look around us and to worship what we see and like the idea of what makes sense to us, what we can wrap our mind around, what we can visibly understand over this concept of a great all-powerful God. So we tend to make up gods that are reflective of us, that have super speed, gods that, are super strong, that carry attributes and kind of reflect the world around us. So although Ewing hasn't gotten into that quite yet, he is playing with that kind of comic typical idea of many gods. And so we'll see what kind of origin he gives them, what kind of qualities and attributes. From what it sounds like, these gods came to help humanity in some way but are now dead, which kind of brings me to my second idea that is coming up in this story. Secondly, there seems to be, you can't help but wonder what sort of, what he's attempting to accomplish with the symbolism of a dead God floating around and humans living past this God and examining it, extracting things from it, and sort of using it. It could have to do with the state of the world today, where in a lot of places we're sort of postmodern, and people believe Christianity in particular to be an old, tired idea, a relic of past times. Well, I believe I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious, or ideas like that. I can pick and choose what it is that I think is helpful to me personally or advantageous to me, and I do not take the God wholesale or carte blanche. I do not take the whole thing, but I extract what is needed. Also, that man has outlived God in some way. Societally, I would say, yeah. There's very much a big portion of society and that seems to be trying to move on and to live a post-Christian, a post-religious sort of life. So I think there's a ton of great opportunity there story-wise, and I think Ewing seems like a really intelligent, really thoughtful, really meticulous sort of writer. So it'll be interesting to see where he takes that. I would say those are some of the main ideas that I'm really excited to see how Ewing plays with them. There could be people who see this video and say, oh, for a Christian to be talking about this and saying that these are good, this is good writing, and a great story isn't going to hurt my personal belief or faith. It's well intact, no matter what I read or what I hear about. So I think there's a great opportunity to have discussions around these themes and about what we see, and I think that it'd be interesting for somebody who's not a Christian to really think about how do these ideas play off of what's going on in my mind, in my heart, and my personal beliefs and approach to life. Now, I talked a bit about some of the contrary Christian ideas, like one God and one all-powerful being who we can only take a part of him, but at the same time we have to take all of him, if that makes sense. We're not big enough or grand enough to fully perceive him, and so we can only take him in small bite size like you see them doing in the story, but at the same time we cannot deny the whole of him. So, great title. I hope that you're enjoying it. I hope that you're even enjoying the cool ideas that it brings up and thinking about what this means for me personally. Where do I stand? Maybe you think it's just a fun story, but hey, that's why I'm here. If you don't like looking deeply into what stories are saying, then this channel's not for you. But hey, if you do, thanks so much for sticking around. Please like the video. That would be a huge help. Share it with anybody who you think might appreciate this, and subscribe. I'm going to be coming out with more content. This is just a maiden voyage, so to speak. So thank you so much for spending the time. God bless you and keep you. Enjoy some good content out there, and I'll check it with you next time.